cosine of theta is equal to negative 3/5, and theta lies in quadrant 2. We want to find the exact value of the sine of 2 theta, the cosine of 2 theta, and the tangent of 2 theta. All right, so this is what we're given, right? We're given the cosine of theta is equal to negative 3/5, and that theta lies in quadrant 2. This is what we want to find, right? We want to find what is the sine of 2 theta. Now, what is the cosine of 2 theta? What is the tangent of 2 theta? Now, what you do not want to do is say, hey, I know that cosine of theta is negative 3/5. So cosine of 2 theta, well, I'm just going to multiply this by 2, right? Because that's what that 2 does. And you got to be careful with that, right? This is not going to be the answer. Okay, we do not just multiply the angle by 2. Okay, or we don't just multiply the answer by 2 here, right? What this is saying is, right, we know that theta is in quadrant 2, right? So if cosine of theta, right, whatever that is, that's going to equal negative 3/5. So here's our angle. This is negative 3. That's 5. We know that this is 4 here. Okay? So the question is this: if this angle is theta, right, this is the angle theta here, well, what is the cosine of 2 times that? Okay? Well, we don't really know, right? We don't know how many degrees theta is. Okay? But we do know the double angle formulas for sine, cosine, and for tangent, right? And that's the idea here. Okay, so let's take a look. Well, what is the sine of 2 theta, right? There's a formula for that. It's called a double angle formula for sine. It's 2 times the sine of theta times the cosine of theta. Okay, so remember, this is what we're asked to find. This is the formula. So your job is, well, how do I use the formula, right? I need to plug in these values. Okay, similarly, cosine of 2 theta, okay, this is going to be cosine squared of theta minus sine squared of theta. And then tangent of 2 theta, right, this is going to equal 2 times the tangent of theta all over 1 minus tangent squared of theta. Right? Of course, these double angle formulas you just got to memorize or have them handy. Okay. So we want to find these 3 items. Right? So remember, this is the formula that we want to find. These are the things I need to plug in, right? So let's take a look. Do we know the cosine of theta? Well, sure, that was given, right? Cosine of theta is negative 3/5. Do we know the sine of theta? Well, yeah, we just drew it out, right? So the sine of theta is positive 4/5. So the sine of 2 theta is going to be 2 times 4/5 times negative 3/5, which is negative 24 over 25. Similarly, cosine of 2 theta is cosine squared minus sine squared. So in this case, cosine, once again, is negative 3/5 squared minus 4/5 squared. This is just 9. 9 over 25 minus 16 over 25. That gives me negative 7 over 25, right? That is the cosine of 2 theta. All right, now for tangent of 2 theta, right, there is a double angle formula for tangent. Or what we can do is just use the sine, right? So sine of 2 theta over cosine of 2 theta. Of course, these have to match, right? The 2 thetas here. So, I mean, we could do that since we already know sine and cosine, right? Or we can just use a double angle formula. It does not really matter, right? We know that the tangent of theta, right? The tangent of theta in this case is negative 4/3, right? So either way, whichever way you want to go, right? Just plug these guys in. I'm probably just going to use the double angle formulas here, right? So tangent of 2 theta then is going to equal sine of 2 theta, which I know was negative 24 over 25, divided by the cosine of 2 theta, which is negative 7 over 25. Of course, we never divide by fractions. We always multiply by the reciprocal. So 25's do cancel out. Negatives also cancel out. Final answer here, tangent of 2 theta is 24 over 7.